What if I told you that the credit card hack you're using right now could be costing you thousands of dollars without you even realizing it? Here's a reality check. 11% of cardholders make only minimum payments, and with average credit card rates near 23%, that's a recipe for financial disaster. These 5 strategies seem smart on the surface, but they're quietly destroying your financial future. You've likely heard these tips from friends who thought they were helping you save money. So let's flip the script. These aren't innocent mistakes. They are traps designed by the credit card industry to keep you paying while thinking you're being clever. Let's start with the most common trap that millions of people fall into every single month. Making minimum payments feels like smart money management. You pay just enough to stay in good standing while keeping cash free for other things. Makes sense, right? Why tie up your money when you can pay the smallest amount possible? Here's the logic most people follow. You've got bills to pay, maybe an emergency fund to build, or just want some spending money for the weekend. So you look at that credit card statement and think, perfect, I only need to pay $25 this month. You use that extra $200 for something else and feel like you're managing your money well. Here's what credit card companies don't want you to know. Minimum payments are designed to keep you paying forever. They're not trying to help you manage cash flow. They want you trapped in a cycle where you never actually pay off your debt. Let's break down a real example. That $500 laptop you bought last year? Let's see what it really costs when you only make minimum payments. Your credit card charges 18% interest, which is pretty typical. The minimum payment on $500 is usually around 2% of your balance. But here's where it gets tricky. Each month, you're paying mostly interest, not the actual debt. Only a tiny fraction of each minimum payment reduces the principal, because those 2 to 3% minimum payments primarily cover interest. This stretches repayment into years or decades. According to Bankrate data, a $1,000 balance at roughly 19% APR takes about 9 years to pay off on minimum payments, costing nearly as much in interest as the original purchase. But it gets worse. This assumes you never use the card again. Most people keep adding purchases while making minimum payments. That laptop debt becomes part of a growing pile that never shrinks. Let me explain compound interest in simple terms. Think of it like this. You owe $500 and the credit card company adds $7.50 in interest. Now you owe $507.50. Next month, they charge interest on the full $507.50, not just the original $500. Interest gets added to interest, making your debt grow even when you're paying. It's like bailing out a tub while the faucet never stops. Making only minimum payments can stretch a balance repayment to 11 to 28 years according to Bankrate examples. That's the hidden trap most people never see coming. Credit card companies make billions of dollars from people who think minimum payments are the smart move. They've designed the system so your debt shrinks as slowly as possible. Every month you make that minimum payment, you're paying them for the privilege of owing them money. Most people don't realize they're paying rent on their debt. That's essentially what interest is. You're renting money from the credit card company, and minimum payments mean you're renting it for years instead of months. The real cost isn't just money. It's years of your life stuck in debt when you could be building wealth instead. While you're paying monthly for that old laptop, you could be putting that money towards something that actually grows in value. Here's what that means in real terms. If you took that monthly payment and invested it instead, you'd be building wealth. So the minimum payment trap doesn't just cost you extra in interest, it costs you the opportunity to build your future. Every month you stay in debt is a month you're not moving forward. You're stuck paying for things you bought yesterday instead of saving for tomorrow. The credit card company wins, and you lose twice, once on the interest and again on the lost opportunity. But that's just the beginning. The next trap is even sneakier because it makes you think you found the perfect solution. You've probably seen those ads everywhere. Transfer your balance to a 0% interest card and save thousands. Sounds like a no-brainer, right? The commercials make it seem like free money. Here's why this seems brilliant at first glance. You've got $5,000 in debt on a card charging 18% interest. Then you see an offer for a new card with 0% interest for 12 months. You do the math and think you'll save hundreds in interest charges. Move your debt from the high-interest card to one with no interest for a year or more. What could go wrong? Here's the catch most people miss. That 0% rate comes with hidden costs and a ticking time bomb that most people never see coming. Let's break down the transfer fees first. According to Bankrate and other sources, most cards charge 3 to 5% just to move your balance. So if you transfer $5,000 in debt, you immediately pay $150 to $250 up front. That fee gets added to your new card balance right away. You haven't saved a penny yet, and you already owe more money. Think of it like this. You're paying a moving company to relocate your debt. The debt is the same size, but now you've paid extra just to move it to a new address. Here's where the ticking time bomb comes in. When that 0% rate expires, the new rate is often higher than your original card. Many balance transfer cards jump to 24% or even 29% after the promotional period ends. You thought you were escaping high interest, but you might end up paying even more. But here's what really happens in most cases. People run up debt on their old card again. The old card is now empty, so it feels like free spending room. Within a few months, many consumers resume spending on their cleared card, creating parallel balances that grow faster than before. The psychology behind this is simple but dangerous. The relief of 0% interest makes people feel like they solved their problem. They stop changing their spending habits because the immediate pain is gone. It's like taking a painkiller for a broken leg instead of getting it properly treated. Sounds great, until 12 months fly by and that 0% rate vanishes. What happens then? If you don't pay down the bulk of your transferred balance within the interest-free window, you're likely facing an even higher APR, often in the mid-20s, according to research-backed rates near 24 to 29%. The promotional period creates false confidence. You think you have 12 months to figure things out? But 12 months passes faster than you expect, especially when you're not making significant payments. Most people wake up with 2 months left and realize they've barely made a dent in the balance. This creates a cycle where people keep moving debt around instead of paying it off. They become balance transfer addicts, always chasing the next 0% offer. Each transfer costs more fees, and the debt never actually shrinks. The credit card companies love this cycle. They make money on transfer fees and know that most people will end up paying high interest rates eventually. They're not offering 0% rates to be generous. They're betting that you won't pay off the debt during the promotional period. Balance transfers can work, but only if you treat the root cause. The real problem isn't the interest rate. It's overspending. If you don't change your spending habits, you'll just create more debt on top of the transferred balance. Here's what that means in practical terms. A balance transfer is like switching from one credit card to another without fixing why you got into debt in the first place. You're treating the symptom, not the disease. Now you're starting to see the pattern here. Each of these traps looks helpful on the surface, but they're actually working against you. The credit card industry has spent millions of dollars studying how to keep you trapped in these cycles. Every minimum payment structure and balance transfer offer is carefully designed to maximize their profits, not help your finances. Here's what you can do right now. Start by paying more than the minimum on your highest interest card, even if it's just $10 extra each month. That extra money goes straight toward your actual debt, not just interest. Free up your money by paying off debt faster, then redirect that cash into an emergency fund instead of more plastic. The real credit card hack? Treat your card like cash. Pay it off in full every month and avoid interest entirely. No shame if you fell for these tricks. Now you know how to break free. Drop a comment below and let me know which trap surprised you most. Your story might help someone else avoid the same mistake.